Hello anybody listening, this is Brad with Monday Morning Handicapping, and this is my first video that I'm using for editing purposes. I'm using OBS software as well as iMovie, so I don't know if this will ever be uploaded. I imagine it will at some point, but this is kind of a test run just to see how the editing process works and figure things out on that end. What I'm going to do with Monday Morning Handicapping, it's essentially a horse racing podcast. I want to go over some races primarily and explain my top picks and some rationale for who I picked and why, and also maybe why I do or do not like the favorite, probably don't like the favorite. So this is my first run at this. We're going to be taking a look at track in the Bay Area of California, Golden Gate Fields. They're actually on their final meet, and then the track is going to shut down for good, but it's the track that I have been playing for a while and grew up going to, so we're going to take a look at one race. I will probably just be using this for editing purposes, but once I get the hang of things, maybe I'll upload this as kind of a look where I started and look where I am now kind of comparison. But either way, let's take a look at Golden Gate Fields, Race 7. If you follow my cursor, I'll kind of explain what I'm looking at. So, Race 7, Golden Gate Fields. This race is 1 mile long on the turf. It's a grade 3. It's a graded stake. It's a high-level race, especially at Golden Gate for their standards. And I'm just going to scroll down and talk about my pick. I picked number 10, Clovisconnection. He's expected to be about 12 to 1 in the betting odds. Some of the reasons why I like this horse, first off, he's been well bet throughout his career. These are the odds. So he's 3 to 1 his last race, 1.9 to 1 his race before, 1.9. So basically 2 to 1, 3 to 1. He was the favorite here as indicated by the asterisks. So he's been a well-backed horse by the public. He's only 4 years old, as indicated by this 4 up here. And horses generally peak between 3, 4, maybe 5 years old. He's second off a layoff, which means his last race was in March 24th of 2024, and his race prior to that was October 7th, 2023. So this was his 3-year-old year. He took about 6 months off, came back, raced on the turf, showed a lot of speed as indicated by these ones, which meant he went to the lead. He was in first by a half length, first, and then faded to finish third, which that can happen, especially off, say, a 6-month layoff. He hustled, showed a lot of speed, and then ended up just fading. Not too badly, though. Only ended up losing by 1.25 lengths. The winner of that race, italicized over here, Johnny Padres. It's italicized because this horse eventually came back and won his next start. So he lost by a length. My pick lost by a length and a quarter to a horse that won this race and then came back to win his next race. So obviously a horse that was in good form, and I can forgive him for losing off a 6-month layoff going to the lead. Another reason why I like this horse is right here, Danzig. Sire means the father of the horse. So this horse's father is Vronsky out of a Danzig. His father was Danzig, and Danzig has I've been sorting old racing forms lately, and Danzig seems to come up for winners on the turf. So I think in terms of breeding and pedigree, I think Danzig fits the race well here. What else did I like about it? Yeah, he seems to be improving. So here's his 2-year-old campaign, the year 2022. Pretty low speed figures here. Took a break, came back, started his 3-year-old campaign, showed speed, much improved speed figures. Kind of jumping up to 75, 80, 76. Ran pretty good on the turf here. Ran a 75 speed figure. Tried shorter races on the dirt. Went to a mile race on the turf at Santa Rosa, which is the fair circuit in California. Typically, I feel like it's a slower turf course, if memory serves. And here's the fractions of the race. So 23.5 for the quarter mile, 47.8 to the half, 112 to the 3/4, and then finished at 142. So this race was a little bit longer than today's. This is a mile and a 16th. The race here today is just 1 mile. And he showed speed, went to the lead, and just stayed on, handled it very well. Again, I feel like Santa Rosa is a little slower track. then shortened up to a one-turn race, a sprint, showed speed, and won on the dirt. And that's when he took a break, came back as a 4-year-old, showed speed, and 6.5, which is down the hill at Santa Anita, showed speed, faded barely in a state restricted stakes race there. So it seems like this horse is just in good condition. Should be able to get the extra distance. He won a mile and a 16th, so 1 mile if this horse is fresh or fit. The distance shouldn't be an issue. And if we take one more look, his last race was March 24th, 2024. So this is the workout line. So we can go to March 17th. This was his workout before that race. He had his race right here in between these workouts. Then after his last race, he ran a 3 furlong workout, which is under a 3/8 of a mile workout in 37. Not bad. Stretched it out a little further to a half mile, ran 47. And this bullet point here means it was the fastest on the day. So fastest out of 68 horses, as you can see right here. Then after that, he did a even further workout, 5 furlongs, so 5/8 of a mile in 1 minute and 4/5 of a second. And that was 5th best on the day of 64 that worked out at that distance. So since that last race, he's run some short, fast workouts and then a longer 5 furlong workout, and had a respectable speed for a workout. So this horse does seem to be fit. Again, he's 4 years old, so he can improve. His 4-year-old debut, which was this 87, isn't quite what his lifetime top is, but it shows me that he hasn't really lost a step yet. And with the good workouts, and he's shown ability to run long on the turf, I think this horse could definitely improve. And 12-1 on the morning line just tells me that he might be overlooked, so you might get somewhere around 12-1. Yeah, the only other concern would be if there's a lot of inside speed. He's in the 10 post position, so he's 9 horses to his inside, and it's a relatively short run to the first turn. So I don't envision a whole lot of speed to his inside. So I hope that he can get down closer to the rail once the race starts. So I think that's most of the case I have for this horse. Now, just to cap things off, I want to look at the morning line favorite, and it's what the track presumes will be the most bet horse for those who aren't too familiar with horse racing, and that is number 4, Balnikov, 3-1 on the morning line. And he's been running in a lot of grade 2, a couple grade 1s, a couple grade 3s. So he's a real classy horse, at least in terms of races he's entered in. But if you just look down here, these are his finishes, and he doesn't win an awful lot. He's 6 for 24 lifetime. He won by a nose on this race last year, and then he won by a neck in a grade 3 at Keeneland, and he's closing from way in the back, from way far back. See, this last one, he was 11th by 11 lengths, 11th by 11th, and then just really furiously rallies. If you look right here, this line indicates he's coming off a layoff, about almost 3 months. And the last time he had a little layoff, let's see, he actually ran a pretty good figure last time out. It was a little bit further. That might have helped his running style, because he does like to come from way behind, a mile and an 1/8. But when he won his Golden Gate race, this exact race last year, he came off about the same layoff, a few months, ran at Santa Anita once, just kind of as a freshener. In that race, he ran a 78 Beyer, which was the worst. The Beyer is the speed figure, which was the worst one on the page. And then he came to Golden Gate and won this race last year. So it seems like he might need one race off a layoff, especially with his running style. And he hasn't had that. And it's only been 3 months, which isn't awful, but he's 5 years old. He might need, a little more training to get back in race shape. His workouts have been relatively quick. He's got the 5 furlong quick one right there, the bullet, 5 furlong in a minute and 1. So that's comparable to our horse's last workout. But I just think, not actually having been to the track, and he's such a late closer, likes to come from way behind and make one large run late. I think he might just be a little short today in this running. So that's why I'm fading against him. If he wins, I wouldn't be completely shocked, but I could see him running 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So that's kind of why I'm not going with the favorite. And he's 3-1. My pick was 12-1. I think there's plenty of merits for mine to run a good race. Plus, he's going to be in front of the four, excuse me. So the four is going to have to come catch my horse, and I just think my horse is going to be fit. We will see. And so those are my pick and why I don't like the favorite. That's one example, or one way I'm going to kind of do this podcast. Some days I might do a full card. Sometimes I might do just a sequence of a few races and explain who I like, why, or how I'm going to bet it. There are multi-race wagers, which we can get into in another video, but for this video, I just wanted to go over who I liked, why, and why I did not like the favorite this particular time. For anyone who's new to horse racing, I would happily try to answer anyone's questions. Admittedly, wouldn't consider myself an expert, but definitely a student of the game and willing to learn and willing to teach anyone who knows less than me, and I'm willing to pass along any information I hear from people that know more than me, or podcasts or books that I've been reading lately. So with that said, I hope this podcast explains something to somebody, and we'll see how the race goes. Maybe I'll do a video showing the results and showing how the race was run, which actually, yeah, I think I should do that, at least for more editing purposes. But anyways, so that's my pick. Race 7 at Golden Gate Fields on April 27th, 2024, number 10, Clovisconnection, 12-1 morning line. And wish me luck.